Hello everybody, Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Heavensward. In the last episode, we were dealing with the aftermath of the battle at Baelsar's Wall. Not only the loss of Papalymo, but also the summoning of the Primal, which Papalymo basically sacrificed himself to contain. Barely. So, we went to another council meeting to kind of go over the situation, learn that the Primal was basically knocking Imperial airships out of the sky, even while it was in its cocoon. And you're trying to figure out, how are we going to deal with this thing when out of the blue, Nero Tolskeva, Legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion, at least former Legatus of the Imperial 14th Legion, showed up and basically offered his services and proposed that we use Omega, which is the weapon system that was originally used by the Allagans to contain Bahamut, to deal with the new Primal. And so everybody's like, what are you actually playing at here? And he's like, I'm here to help, honest. And we're like, okay, well, let's give it a shot, because nobody else has any better ideas. So that is what we're over here to do. We're heading into the Cartano Plain to locate the control systems for Omega, and then hopefully wield it against the new Primal that was summoned by Ilberd, of all people. Alright, so let's go ahead and have a chat with Sid, and go ahead and get this thing started. Alright. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the Toll's main square. Oh yeah, the Excelsior Enterprise. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? Oh, we're heading into the Rising Stones. Okay. I thought we were heading straight out the Cartano, which is why I kind of paused things there. Oh well. Last episode. Alright, so let's go back to the Rising Stones and have a chat there, and then I guess we'll see what we're going to do from that point. Alright, Nero.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boilmaster, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remained behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalymo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave! God, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Eorzea. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Eorzea came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? Yugiri, you draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Oh yes, I forgot that we had the introduction of Gosetsu last episode, and now he's finally showed up. Alright. Alright, so Totaro's here. Alright, Ayame, wait. Could I speak to you for a moment? Alright. Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Yes, I do remember that. Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on right now if you like. So Totaro made us an outfit. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light, well, let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, you know, bring you home. May it always protect you. You're not a bad set of clothes, but not exactly combat practical. Alright. Sign Adventurer's gear set. There. I think I'll probably keep the gear set I'm currently wearing. At least this has some chainmail involved in it. Alright. Ida? Ida's eyes shine with rekindled determination. Okay. So, we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well. I remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Y'shtola and Kryl? A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartano Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega while Ayame, Ida, and our Doman friends take care of security. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready. Alright. So back out to the Excelsior. And let's go ahead and get started. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartano before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard. Given that Aline Wayu was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by this new primal, it's not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. Almost certainly, because that would just be par for the course.
Now, where was that? Ah! I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland. Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
All right, let's get to it. Yeah, they have no idea who they picked to fight with. You know what? I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this guy's name, but yeah, we're gonna be seeing a bunch of him.
You watching, Papalimo?
Leave this to me.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
It's all over now.
And Gosetsu served as basically the introduction of the samurai class.
I have you!
It will sting.
We'll deal with all this small fry first.
Your defense is lacking.
It is my right to strike!
No holding back.
An opening.
With soul and steel!
You watching, Papalimo?
Alright, I'm going to, oh, we're done. Surrender, we have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time. Alright, are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Ah, behold, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward for the Empire. The honorless cur thinks to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Ah, Nero gave me his Reaper. Alright.
You watching, Pabalimo? Leave this to me.
'Tis my right to strike!
This one'll sting.
An opening.
He's got some additional weapon systems. Very nice.
With soul and steel!
No holding back!
No retreat. No surrender.
Looks like Ida could use a little bit of a help. There we go.
Look upon us, samurai of Doma!
Get off me.
It's all over now.
There we go.
Your
Alright.
defense is lacking.
There we go.
I have you!
Those guys are down.
You watching, Pabalimo? Leave this to me.
Alright.
'Tis my right to strike!
This one'll sting.
Alright, 2 of them down.
An opening.
With soul and steel!
Alright, it looks like they've decided to retreat. Deserting a battle is punishable by death. Damn it all to the 7th hell. I'll kill you bastards.
No
Okay.
holding back!
No retreat. No surrender.
Don't want to be in any of this.
Look upon us, samurai of Doma!
It's all over now.
Your defense is lacking.
Alright, you haven't seen the last of me. Mark my words, you will be the one who rues this day. Yeah, not so much.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
Is there any other option?
I suppose not. All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose. Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Alright, so that was a pretty epic battle there. Alright, Cid? I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way. Yeah, let's go to Gridania. Alright, Cid? One moment, everything was functioning perfectly, and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon. We're gonna get a couple of orchestrion rolls. That's for housing stuff. Alright, Alphino? Alphino is the look of a man with much to say. Okay. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ida, wait, we must first... The Elder Seed Seer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. All right. I think the far edge of fate. I think this is the last quest in the Heavensward expansion. So, let's head over to the Conjurer's Guild. And let's go see the Elder Seed Seer. I am pushing this a little bit tight on time, but I would like to try to get this done, because if we can end Heavensward here, that would be great. Alright. Con Isina. Alright, my friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try, but tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega Eye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do justice to the scene? None of mine choosing, that much is certain, but I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies above skies over Girabania. The primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to see again. The battle raged on with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye, it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of far eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Girabanian side of the border. Aye, which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Tarpin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Giradania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned. That explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega stasis systems, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it'll be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Girabania. Though Ilberd has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation, and by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp. Alright. So let's see what Alphino has to say. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. You Stoll and the others have gathered at Amarise's spire, and I imagine that you two would be interested to see what has become of the wall now the cocoon is gone. It is decided then. Lead on. Alright, so off to Hawthorne's hut, and out to the watchtower. To get a look at how things have shaped up. Well, there's Gosetsu and Yugiri, and there's Y'shtola.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilberd's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She is up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
I accidentally clicked there. Sorry.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong, There must have been a lot of them.
I guess I'll ask, why did you never tell me?
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Ala Mhigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
Okay, it was brave of Lise to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell to Taro and my sister. Alright, so that is the conclusion of the Heavensward expansion and all of the extensions. So, when we start up, next time we'll be beginning with the start of the Stormblood expansion. So, we'll go ahead, end it here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.